First and foremost, good morning. I think it's only right to let you guys know that I woke up feeling the cheesiest. But without further ado, obviously, opening statement. We're really excited to get ready to play a phenomenal South Carolina football team. They've done a great job this season. Obviously, they're 9-3. Right now, there's a lot of history in them trying to get to their 10th win, just like us. Um, as a team, I felt like our guys are locked in, they're focused. From the a lot of the practice that we had back at home, parlaying to yesterday. I think our guys are ready. We're really excited about this opportunity. We know it's going to be a really really good football game, and I just can't express to you guys how thrilled we are to just have this opportunity. One, I think for our younger players, it gave us 15 more practices. In the day and age now, I mean, being able to practice with your players, especially your young players, having guys enter into the portal, whatnot, that is vital in regards to your program. So that was really, really big. And just seeing how our guys just collectively, even throughout the season, came together and over the course of the last couple of weeks with these practices and getting ready to come down here just to you form a lot of really cool, you kind of see a lot of really cool relationships that you don't really get to see throughout the course of the season because they don't really have a lot of school going on, and so it's been a good time. We're really excited about the opportunity ahead, and without further ado, let's get rolling.
All right, we have a question. We'll invite to you. Let's start down here in the front row again. Aaron Miles, for both of you, obviously played some really good quarterbacks this year, whether it's Jalen or Dylan. Have any of those guys prepared you for what you're going to see in one of our sellers? And what's the challenge of containing him?
Well, I think back to even last year, right? Toledo, DeQuan Finn, right? I think over the course of the last couple of seasons, we've played some guys who are really really talented and who have presented problems to us. And so I think facing a young man like Lenore Sellers, I think he's a little bit different. The reason why he's a little bit different is because he is 6'3", and I think he's 230, 225. I mean, he's just a bigger target. He has a live arm. Obviously that they're on a really really hot game win streak, and he was a freshman of the year for a reason, and he's done a really really good job for him. But I do think over the course of the last couple of years, some of the teams that we have played, not holistically, but just with some of the things that some of the quarterbacks have been able to do in terms of being able to run the ball and run around a little bit. Um, they have helped us to a degree prepare for a young man of this caliber. It's not like we're going into this game blind and we hadn't faced a running quarterback all season, and so it's really really hard to replicate that. I think kudos to Trey Petty. Trey Petty has done a. I know some of you guys probably know who Trey Petty is, but he's been our look team quarterback. I mean, he's done a tremendous job. And Lenore Sellers is really, really hard to replicate, but he's done a tremendous job for us over the last 15 practices of really kind of giving us that look.
Yeah, I will also say Daquan Finn was probably the first person that I thought of just going back to last season. Just the way that he's able to escape the pocket and just evade defenders. I seen one play versus Clemson where it was literally like a cartoon, like four dudes was on top of him, and then he just escaped out of it and ran for like 30 yards after. So he's definitely a problem, man. I feel like a lot of the quarterbacks that we've seen are talented for sure, but I think Lenore Sellers is in a different category.
Okay, right on the right side.
Matt Rochelle with the Orlando Sentinel. Aaron, I want to ask you this: the South Carolina is making a switch at offensive coordinator. Mike Schule's coming in to call plays for them. Does that change anything you guys have to do defensively to pay attention to what they're doing, or do you think they're going to pretty much run the same sort of schemes and everything at you guys?
It's funny you asked that. So I had a chance yesterday to watch some Alabama film, to watch some Carolina Panthers film. All right, no, I'm joking. No, I really believe that you know I, Lenore Sellers is so talented. Um, I mean, I'm sure they'll have some wrinkles in the way Coach Shula calls it. I'm sure he'll have his own twist. They've had a lot of time to kind of prepare for. I don't know if I really envision them really just getting away from everything that they've done because they've had so much success with it. And so I know it's all about trying to keep his quarterback comfortable. I'm sure there'll be some wrinkles there in regards to how they utilize them. But the film kind of speaks for itself. My grandmother used to tell me, if it ain't broke, don't break it. They had a lot of success of what they've been doing in regards to how they've utilized them. So um, I'm sure there'll be some wrinkles. I'm not really anticipating a complete wholesale change offensively. If they do, I'll be shocked, but I think that's why bowl games are kind of played. I'm sure there's going to be some shocking things, but I just think as a defense, there's nothing in terms from a schematic standpoint that we haven't seen this year outside of a talent like Lenore Sellers, right? But from a schematic standpoint, in the Big Ten, you see everything, right? We've saw spread offenses, we've saw power football. I mean, you kind of see the gambit, but um, coach. First of all, I want to congratulate obviously Coach Shula in getting the OC job, but I'm not anticipating a complete wholesale change in regards to the North.
Last second.
It's for both of you guys. What have you seen from guys like James Cruz, Malachi Hood in the last 5 or 6 weeks since Dylan has been out, and how they kind of helped stabilize losing a team captain like him?
Man, honestly, even with James and Malachi, and with every other like young guy that's on the team, man, you see them step up into positions like whether they just thrown into the fire or whether they just gotta like just come up. Like it's just good to see. James is a super smart dude, and so is Malachi as well. And the talent that they both have hasn't hindered them at all on the field. And it feels like we haven't really lost like a big part to the defense, knowing that those guys were prepared to step in and take advantage of their roles.
I guess to kind of echo that, like I think part of the deal, you know, Coach Archie this is his first year at the University of Illinois, and during our hiring process, one of the things that we look for as a defensive staff is people being able to teach. Right, you have to be an elite teacher. Right, I'm not really concerned about how much football you know, because I think being able to teach football is relatively easy. But how well can you take a complicated system and scheme, and how well can you teach it to somebody that may not know it as well? And so during Coach Archie's interview process, we kind of put guys through the ringer a little bit, and there's a couple of questions that we asked him in regards to teaching and how does he teach. And Coach Archie McDaniel is an incredible teacher, right? And the way he's prepared that room has been absolutely awesome because, like, even going into fall camp, we knew, because it happens every year, we knew that there were going to have to be multiple players that play behind Dylan Rosiak, and the way he's prepared those guys has been absolutely incredible. But along with that, Grant Morgan, right? Grant Morgan was an all conference, all American linebacker in the SEC, and the way he's complimented Coach Archie and working together and teaching these guys has been absolutely incredible. And then to see their growth, right? To see their growth from the beginning of the season towards the latter part of the season has been absolutely awesome. I mean, these young men, they've literally been waiting for these opportunities and moments. And when they've came up, they haven't shied away from them. And so I think a part of their growth and development, outside of their skill set and ability, it's really been the foundation of how the coaches have taught them. Which I tip my hat to Coach Archie and Coach Morgan.
We've got time for a couple more. We'll take one down in front here. Aaron, I want to ask you, reloaded on your defensive front. Some guys you've seen from some other schools. What do you like about what those four guys bring to your defense next year?
Yeah, man. I think I think the key thing is to make sure we can win the line of scrimmage. You can have the best players on the back end as possible, right? Like we pride ourselves on playing well in the secondary, but we all know, right? SEC, Big Ten, Pac-12, wherever you're at, NFL, it starts up front, and so we've made it a point, especially this offseason and moving forward, to just find experience and try to find the best players that fit us. Okay, I know there's a lot of people in the portal looking for stars. They're looking for this, looking for that. That ain't how we operate. We're looking for one, experience. If you have experience, and two, are you a fit? Right? Do you have experience and are you a fit? And a lot of the young men that we've went after, right? They are experienced and they fit what we do and how we do it. And so we've been able to add a couple of significant pieces that we believe, right? I know oftentimes people can watch film, right, and say, well, that kid wasn't a good player, but he played 600 snaps. Well, they didn't think that he. I mean, they obviously thought he was a pretty good player if he played a bunch of snaps for him, right? He probably was. He probably could be utilized different in their system and scheme. And so, right, like for us as coaches, we're just trying to find guys that fit our system, that fit how we do things, and then from there, because we know we can develop players, right? If anybody knows anything about Illinois football, we are the best in the country at not taking 4 and 5 stars. That's easy. Taking 4 and 5 star players are easy. Right? I can do that with my eyes closed. But we take guys who are 0, 1, 2, 3 star recruit walk-ons, right? And we develop them at a really, really high clip. And so if we can take a guy who's an experienced player at another school and he has a year or 2 years with us, we got a pretty good opportunity to be good. So that's what we pride ourselves on.
And then jumping on here, we'll take the right shirt and left.
Miles, along those lines, you nodded you as a walker. I'm curious what it is about the system that has allowed you to go from walk-on receiver to second-year starting safety in this defense.
Man, honestly, I'll have to tip my hat to the coaches. Like, and I've even talked to guys that have went here and went to other places, and they truly tell me like it's not like this anywhere else in the country. Like, just the way that these guys are able to truly make it a family feel, like outside of football and then within football. Like, we learn so much like about the game, like and that it makes it easy going out there on the field. Like, we so prepared, like week in, week out, season in, season out, like fall camp in, fall camp out. Like, I'm prepared for everything. Every time I step out there on the field, I'm prepared just because of the way Coach Henry prepares us, the way that like Coach B prepares us. Like, we always doing football 1-on-1. Like, all we talk about is football and just like the ins and outs of the game. And I feel like that's what really develops us as a whole. Whether you a walk on, whether you a high recruit, like we're all getting developed, and you see that year in, year out since Coach B has been here.
Great. One last call. We'll take one last one up front and we'll chase that thing.
Don't ask all the questions, Jeremy.
Miles, what's this game mean for you guys? The opportunity against South Carolina and chance to get a 10th win, what's this mean for you?
Honestly, it's a chance to make history. That will be, I believe, the fourth team to win 10 games in Illinois history. It's huge in terms of the grand scheme of things, but at the end of the day, it's just another game. Like, we gotta see it as that and not put so much on it. We're prepared for the moment. We haven't had 15 practices yet, but we're closing in on that number and just taking it one day at a time. Like, not trying to make it bigger than what it is. Like, that's how I live my life too, just one day at a time. Like, I'm not even worried about tomorrow. I'm only worried about today's practice and the troubles of today, because tomorrow brings enough of its own, and yesterday is gone. So all we worried about is today.
Preach.
All right, that seems like a good way to close. Thank you guys for your time. I appreciate you guys being here, and good luck on Tuesday.
Thank you guys.